of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Yes, people, welcome in. Hello, how you doing? How are you doing? Welcome into the first installment of what I guess we're gonna call Views from the Ops. This is a show idea that I had been working on for quite some time and didn't really know when the right time was to do it, but I figured, hey, why not? During the international break, let's talk to some rivals. Let's actually see what some people who support other clubs, what they think about Tottenham Hotspur and POSTECOGLOU specifically. But how's everybody doing before we get going on here? And I say hello to the chat and bring out my first guest. Sorry about the tardiness. Obviously, I don't like to be late, but such is life when you have guests. You know, they have lives and they have schedules, and we must adhere to such things, unfortunately. As much as that is unfortunate to say. But what is fortunate to say, if you are live, if you if you are watching live, or if you're watching this on playback, I hope you are doing well. I hope you are too blessed to be stressed. And if you are here live, get your vote into the poll. 24 votes right now. Question obviously is, who has the brighter future? More specifically, this is the Arsenal edition. I decided to do the first. I should have warmed up, maybe did United, then Liverpool, then Chelsea or something, then warmed up to Arsenal. But I said, you know what? I know a lot of these Arsenal guys. There's some cool ones. And unfortunately, they make the poor decision of supporting a fraudulent club. But besides the point of them supporting a fraudulent club, I think they're good people. I have it on good account. I'm a pretty good judge of character, I would think. And I only want to feature some really cool people. So I got 3 guests lined up for you today. One of them is here. 2 of them is not. I'll put them on blast. If you looked at the thumbnail, you saw their faces. 2 of them very fraudulent as far as being on time to any kind of schedule. Or sticking to your word. So I guess whenever they come onto the panel, we might question what they say, because how can I take their word for fact if, in fact, they said they'll be here at a certain time, then they say they'll be late, and then they say they'll be late again and again. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't know what they're talking about. But we'll find out. We'll talk to them. Again, they are good people. I do have their channels in the description of this video. For those of you on playback, you can click those there. If you're here live, you can also find the channels there. Obviously, I don't really know how I'm going to do this intro for this show going forward, but I know that I've got a guest in the back. He is an Arsenal fan, and I actually don't know if he has a YouTube channel. That's actually pretty shitty of me, but we'll find out live on air. How about that? But again, this is Views from the Ops, episode 1. I guess we should start at the top of the table. That might make most sense, but let's welcome on a debutant of sorts, and taunt he will. We've got Halftime Hooks, or as I like to call him, Halftime Crooks. What's up, my friend? How are you doing? That was a good intro until I said Crooks instead of Hooks, but how are you, my friend? Welcome to the channel.
It's so crazy how that name it's just stuck now. Like, literally, wherever I go, I get called Crooks instead of Hooks. But I don't actually think that my takes are that bad or that fraudulent, to be completely honest. I think I'm a very balanced man, you know, when it comes to football. You know, obviously there's certain things that I can't bow down on, and usually it does come from your kind, you know, the Spurs lot. Yeah, your kind. You mean
the most beautiful, the most sensational, the most intelligent lot of the bunch? Pick of the litter?
Cool. I'm not sure about some of those adjectives, but yeah. Yeah, and I mean, just on the channel thing, I'm working on it at the moment. So
okay.
I've got like the logo sorted out. I got the banner sorted out. Literally, all I'm doing right now is trying to sort out an intro video, and then I'm going to start recording some content. So soon, it's coming.
Very soon. When you do launch that thing, we'll go ahead and we'll spread the word here on the channel as well. So But it's very good to have you. I know that I've seen you over there at Sod's channel, which is one of the fraudulent members that is late to the show, of course. I believe he went long on his own channel right now. Oh, is he still live? Should we put him on blast?
Yeah, you should definitely put him on blast, man.
Let me
I always
see.
put him on blast.
I'm gonna go. Let's see if he's still live right now. I'm gonna go to his channel. What a great, fantastic first episode when the guests aren't even here. Oh yeah, he is still live. I see him there. There he goes. I see him. Hey, I'm gonna share this tab. Look.
Chelsea.
There they are. They're live right now.
Like, I think Malo Gusto
So that's this guy right here. He's gonna be
Nico
joining the show in a little bit.
Who doesn't really have, he was injured most of the year.
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
doesn't really have
He's
Allegedly.
That's what I said
I'm
before.
gonna mute them. I'm not trying to hear that. But let's say hello to the chat. But look, see, they're live right there, so at least we have an update, like a pizza tracker here in America on Domino's, Pizza Hut. They got pizzas, and when they're like, "Oh, it's in the oven now." Guess what? Now the pizza's in the car and it's on the way, and you can watch the pizza slowly make its way to your home, and that's a pretty sweet deal, if you ask me. Oh, he's playing the Hassam clip.
Yeah, he plays it, and every time Havertz is mentioned, he plays it. That's his. Is
that Saad's shtick?
Yeah,
two out of the three panelists were laughing, so I guess it was a good joke. Good time joke. It's all about timing in the comedy sense. But let's say hello to the chat real quick before we keep going. But hello to Todd Spurs. How you doing? Double first place prize for you tonight, my friend. Says big up Jacob and all. Come on, you Spurs. Big up Todd Spurs. How you doing? Spurs GCTV in the house. Good evening, Jacob and Chewy. Good evening to you. I actually just took Chewy for a walk about 20 minutes ago. Big up Panda Ball. How are you doing? Apologies about being late. Again, I was waiting for some of the guests, and I was just like, you know what? Let's just get the show on the road. They'll join when they can join, if they can join. I ain't even heard from the other fraudulent member, Kunle. I ain't heard from him at all. He's a fraud. I'm going to say hello with a question mark. I just texted him that. So he's a fraud for that. But big up Rowan Kumar in the house. Big up everyone. Have a blessed and peaceful weekend. I hope you are too blessed to be stressed all weekend long, Rowan Kumar. Spain versus Colombia in the meantime. Ooh, 1-0. That sounds like a fun one. Hit a like, people. Yes, Panda Ball. Hit a like. Machiavelli as well. Expose the late fraud. I've exposed both of them. I will say this gentleman, at least right here, this man's on time. He may be an Arsenal fan, but this man will, at least his word seems like it's worth something on the first test. This is a test
early
at the end. He was actually early. There was like, I think by the time I saw you, there was like 2 or 3 minutes until 4 o'clock or until the start time of the show. So you were early. Look, early bird gets the worm, and I don't have any worms. Do you have gummy worms out there in the UK? Is that something that y'all have, or is that just something they feed us to make us diabetic?
I don't know if they're called gummy worms specifically, but we have Haribo, which is kind of similar, and you get like the little gummy sweets when you go to the cinema and shit. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just
Probably some rendition of it. I wonder if y'all have all the fun formulas that we have on the ingredient list. But big up to Faz Radfar 3-1 Spurs. Big up Jacob. Hope you and the family and Chewy are well. We are. I am very blessed every single day. That is why Tottenham cannot make me a miserable person. As hard as they try, and they fucking try, as hard as they try, it won't work. I'm too blessed. As long as, but the power of God, he's allowed me to be so blessed and fortunate in life. Hey, Tottenham is just one of those things to keep me humble, I suppose. Because if not, what's going wrong in life, Losing a 3-0 to Fulham after you just beat Aston Villa 4-0. There you go. That'll clip your wings a little bit. So it's always nice. Big up Faz Radfar, though, every single time. Big up Spursicus. I am Spursicus. Big up Lee Smithy Smith says, big up Jacob, my bro. Big up Lee Smithy. How you doing? Hope you are well. Alexander Castro as well says, Jacob, who's that fraud that's tuning in? There's three. There were supposed to be 3 frauds, but apparently there's only 2. Big up Ellie. How are you doing? Queen Ellie says, I love Ange. And I love Ange as well. Alexander Castro, that is right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 3 fraudulence. Big up Ian Ferguson as well. Ian, I want to say thank you very much. My wife said, Jacob, do you know who Ian Ferguson is? And I said, yes, that is my Cincinnati brethren. So thank you for, I don't know what it is you bought. She said you got something off of my baby registry because, oh, baby Wallraven girl, she's on her way. and she'll be here very, very soon. So thank you very much, Ian, for your very generous contribution to my family. That shit, you know what? I'll be real honest with you, Ian Ferguson. That shit means something to me, man.
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
And speaking of meaning something to me, man, I got a very cool next guest to welcome. He is late, so he is a fraud, but put your hands and your ears and eyes, whatever appendages you want, really. Put them all together for the one and only Saad from the Football Corner, also making his debut on the channel. Hello, my friend. How are you doing?
Listen, big out to everybody, man. Listen, very sorry for being late. I do apologize so much, guys. It's not Jacob's fault. It was my fault. So I apologize. I put my hands up. But listen, big up to you guys. Happy. Listen, you all see me in the comments anyway all the time. I come in here, chill out with you guys. Listen, I'm gassed to be on here, man. Been waiting to get on Jacob's channel for a minute. Finally, it's happening. You know what I mean? We're here. Big up Hooks as well. I see him there, chilling, relaxing. Come on, man. We're here, bro. We're here.
Yeah.
Do you want to start being fraudulent? Do you want us to start arguing and then he's just sitting there just watching it?
Me start being
Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. We'll get to the
Take some
video. Okay?
accountability.
We get this guy and his accountability, bro. This guy every time he's the one that's stripping me out for the pause. He's the one who's the one who's cussing. He's a that was crazy. He's the Ramadan Mubarak. Wallah. He's the one who's always cussing me out for being late. Wallah. It's crazy. On top of the viewers, wallah. But no, big up to everybody. Big up to Jacob, man, as well, man. Big up to you, man. Bless it.
Big up to you. Obviously, anyone who's seen you and I stream together before, Saad, we have fun. We have some fun. It's a little bit of fun. I will say that I'm much more balanced on my own channel than I am when I go
on the up block.
Well, when I go about anywhere else. And when I'm on anyone else's, you can catch me at my shameless, honestly. Probably American Waffle on Staffy TV would be my most shameless, and then second most shameless would probably be This Is Football. I would say. I think so. I don't know where he is. I don't know where he is. And I need to work on this layout because I don't want comments to cover up my guest's face. That's very rude of me. How rude. Well, you got something to say there, Saad? Hold that. I guess that is kind of good. I guess I should keep it like that, actually. On second thought, that's a good idea. Look, gentlemen, gentle boys. Saad, let me ask you first off the top. First question. And it's not about Arsenal, but it is a little bit, because I want to know, as an Arsenal fan, obviously, what were your thoughts about Tottenham in the summer? They just hired ANGE POSTECOGLOU, whom I'm assuming neither one of you have heard about, unless you're a Celtic fan or an Australian football fan.
I knew about him.
You did?
Yeah, because
I'd never heard of him.
Loosely followed like Celtic, like very loosely, only because I bet on football. So loosely.
Okay.
He did quite. Well, my thing is, it's not really hard to do good with Celtic in the Scottish League, especially.
I thought Rangers were good too.
But they just came off the back of being
in Europe,
I guess expelled. No, they got expelled into the league below for some financial thing. And so when they came back up, obviously their team weren't as strong. So I think it was just very easy. Obviously not taking anything away from what he did at Celtic, but I think it was just very easy for him to dominate over there, especially with the quality of the league.
Well, yeah, I will say I watched one Celtic game ever of ANGE POSTECOGLOU's career, and it was his last one when we were rumored with him. I was like, let me check this guy out. There's a Scottish Cup on ESPN Plus. I'll watch it. I thought it was cool that, they went up a goal and they didn't stop attacking. And that was about all I really took away from it. But I didn't really have any idea, expectation necessarily. I just wanted to see Tottenham Hotspur doing something in a sense that we haven't really done, which is make smart football decisions, not business. We've made some smart decisions as a business, but on the football side, you think about the first team in the academy, I would say we haven't, and that's been sorely neglected for 20 years, give or take. So for me, I just wanted change. Jose Mourinho trying to patch up with Pochettino, the glory that he had, glory if you can even call it, because we didn't win one fucking trophy, but fun times. What a fun times. And that's where I fall back on with this whole Pochettino thing. I think he's a fraud because, bro, he's Sonny at left wing back once upon a time. I just wonder why. Lucas Moura scores a hat trick in Amsterdam to push us into the European final. Thank you for that, Lucas. Now fuck off. I don't understand that either. And these decisions have heavily impacted our history. And honestly, you know, I don't accompany Pochettino with Tottenham in glory. So I'm long form question. I'm asking this that for me, my expectations with Ainge, I was tired of us chasing the feeling, chasing that thing because it once was that thing. And at some point, as a man of respectable club, you got to move on from certain things. And to me, it was never going to be easy. It was never going to be beautiful. It was going to be wins. It was going to be losses. And I felt like Ange Postecoglou being widely unknown to a wider audience in the Premier League, you didn't know how Ange was going to set up with Tottenham Hotspur at the beginning of the season. And I've said on this very channel, you can go back and check the videos from whenever the fuck it was, but I said I think he's going to be largely unfamiliar to these managers in the first 3 to 10 matches, and that we're going to see some joy in that. But once managers start adjusting, then we're going to see those growing pains. And it was on full display. I didn't think it would go quite to the extent that it did versus, when it all... I mean, there's a photo. I have it somewhere on my computer. It's saved under the file of when I'm feeling sad. And it's a photo of James Maddison being subbed off as Mickey Van de Ven's being helped off on double legs. And it says that there's 2 red cards. And I'm sitting and I'm thinking about that moment. And it's just, hey, we got to experience the highs and the lows very early on. And then now we're doing that buoy thing. We're starting to figure out where you start finding out how the shoe kind of fits. So for me, at no point in the season have I done anything but enjoy and then been pissed off. And I felt like, but when I look at the big picture, I see what's going on and I can appreciate what's going on. And I feel good about it. I feel confident about it. So I want to kind of start from the summer as a rival fan, as someone obviously enjoying the downfall that was Conte after the Southampton press conference. After that, really, we were just in free fall. I was numb. We have Ryan Mason and Stellini, the dual-headed monster. I don't know what Greek mythological character has the 2 heads, but that's what we had there for a little bit. Then Stellini gets the fucking sack, and then that's Ryan Mason. And we can't get rid of that fucker. He's our set piece coach now. And guess where we concede a lot of goals? On our fucking set pieces. So it's an interesting juxtaposition from where we were in the summer to where we are now. There are still a lot of things wrong that need to be corrected at Tottenham, in my opinion. But Saad, I want to hear from you a little bit. Where were you at in the summer? Ainge gets hired. What were you kind of thinking? We sold Harry Kane literally the night you had to hand it in before the Premier League started. We shipped him away. So, what were your expectations at that point for Tottenham?
Well, listen, I thought it was going to be difficult. From what I knew of Ange, I've heard things about his play style that he likes to, he likes to play the high line. He likes to play expressive and expansive football, and likes to play nice football, none of the sitting back, sitting deep, trying to consume all of that pressure. And I can't lie, listen, that's what has been liked at a lot of teams as well, bro. Like a lot of teams love expansive football. So of course he was coming in, but I didn't know exactly how much of an effect he'd have. Now, what I did know is that he's got an eye for players and not very well known players, which is if you got a talent ID, that's like gold dust in the game. Because yes, you can be a great manager, but if you can't spot out the right players for your system, then it's just never going to work out. It's never going to work out because you have to be so correct with getting the right players in. And that's one thing that he does have, which is his talent ID. He's got an eye for players, good players that he can bring in that are not so much known. They're more like gems. And and diamonds in the rough. So he finds them and he brings them to the club. And look, Van der Ven, who even knew who Van der Ven was? Some random guy from the Bundesliga. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about like rival fans.
General,
We
yeah.
didn't. None of us
also,
knew.
To be impartial here, Liverpool were linked with him before us, and they said we don't think he's ready yet. And then that's when we were like, well, we can continue this negotiation for another 3. And we did. Van de Ven came in with 3 training sessions under his belt and started in the Premier League after 3 training sessions. So we did what we always do, which is the old, you want to go to the dance? Hey, but if you don't, then it's all good. But then I'm only going to hit you with the bare minimum. And we do this dance for a while, and it allows other clubs to basically have their say, because they're more financially definitive as far as making those selections. So I hear you as far as having that talent ID, but if the club's not doing the right things or having the right people in place to supplement your ability to find these players, then I think that there is still a detriment there. One thing that I will say is, you may not know as a Arsenal fan, you may know, but we've put more people in between Daniel Levy and the footballing decisions. There's a guy named Scott Munn. I don't know what his job title is, but I know he's there to fucking talk to Ainge and figure out the player shit. And then there's Paratici, who's calling Italy. We're not going to talk about that, though. He's just a consultant of the club at this point, so to speak. But he's always working the phone. He's working those deals, and that's what's led to the Papa Montesars and the Destiny Udogi. So that was in place before Ainge got here, and I agree with you. I just hope that we do get to a point where we do just say, hey, who do you... But Ainge, like you said, has been used to working under a tight budget. I mean, Hooks, you probably would be able to tell me better. What is the budget like there for Celtic? I couldn't imagine they're really breaking the bank on these talent that he could find.
But this is why originally in the summer, I was... Well, I think it's kind of weird to say as an Arsenal fan, but like I was concerned for my fellow Spurs brethren, because I do have some Spurs friends that I can actually say, yeah, you are actually friends. I actually felt for them because, one, I know that Ainge wasn't your first choice, and the reason, well, at least in my mind, the reason why you went for Ainge is because he's not the type of manager that's going to demand big funds. Like, he's not going to demand of Levy break the bank. He's not going to do that because he's used to working on tight budget. He just came from Celtic. He came from Australian football. He's managed in Japanese football. He's managed in places where you don't need a big budget. You kind of focus on the players that you have already at the club. You find like maybe the little gems, diamonds in the rough, form them into the way you want them to play. And for me, that's very concerning. Oh, obviously, I'm happy. At the time, I was happy because I'm like, okay, Spurs are not going to go out and blow the market away. But then I feel that the business that you did do in the summer kind of excelled my expectations of Tottenham. I would say that you did fairly good business in the summer.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that 100%.
I would say the only transfer I was kind of unsure on was Vicario, because I had absolutely no clue.
Oh, Vicario. He's the bee's knees. He's the gravy on the taters,
Hey, nobody
baby.
knew. You can't tell me nobody knew who he was, bro.
I'm a huge Empoli fan. No, bro, I had never heard of this motherfucker before. But it's one of those... I'm his biggest fan now. I love the guy. As a goalkeeper myself, he's in the Union, and he's not only in the Union, he's an outstanding member. He's got a bunch of gold stars next to his name in the Union on the Union board there. So if I'm honest, no, I've never heard of him. I watched maybe one Empoli game last year. I wasn't fucking paying attention to their goalkeeper. You know what I'm saying? I watched Destiny Udogi last year in the Serie A because we had just bought him and loaned him back to Udinese, and I was, fuck it, I'll watch Udinese. And then I actually ordered a shirt from DH Gate. The fuckers never sent it. Bastards. So I don't even have my Udinese kit.
Yeah. So and I guess I wasn't too sure on Brennan Johnson for 50 million. So not Brennan Johnson so I think Brennan Johnson as a player, he's a young player. He's someone who I think he's good to like come off the bench. He's a good option to have and maybe one day Ange will be able to mold him into a better player. But for 50 million, I don't know. I just feel like maybe you could have spent that money elsewhere on something that you maybe needed more that could have upgraded your first 11. So I think that Brennan Johnson definitely added a bit more depth and I guess a bit more, unpredictability to your squad. But I don't think that it upgraded your first 11, which is what I think that Spurs needed to do.
I would on the subject of Brennan Johnson, there's some hope there, but I would say it's just that, and I've seen him tap it in with a wide open net in front of him, and I've seen him miss a tap in with a wide open net in front of him. So I feel like, to me, Johnson being a signing, we were 3 matches into the Premier League at this juncture when we signed him. We'd already played three Premier League matches. So there's two ways I look at this here in regards to, he comes in at this fee, and then Ainge does what? He puts his fucking neck on the line and says, this is my number 1 target. I wanted Brendan Johnson for a minute. I loved his profile. He's a great guy, and he always goes on and says like people and their background is more important to me than what you've proven at another club, because where you come from and who you are in that sense means more to me about where you can go. So he's always kind of led it as like Brendan Johnson's going to be this piece that we mold into what we want to see him be. But what had happened was he came in because of some injuries, and then all of a sudden he's forced to start some matches. And to me, this guy was listening to some bucktooth ugly fuck Stephen Cooper the entire preseason. His entire training sessions all preseason was for my name's Steve Cooper. You know, like who the fuck is that guy? He got replaced by Nuno Espirito Santo.
Bro, he looks like he smoked like 20 blunts, bro, for every game.
Hell, his eyes are never open. Yeah, hey. I mean, hey, if he's doing that, cool. I don't mind it. I don't care about that. I just, in more regards, I'm thinking about Brendan Johnson's outlook going into this season was like, all right, I'm going to do whatever it is Nottingham Forest goals are, which can't be the loftiest expectations. But for me, Brendan Johnson, at this juncture, he's not good enough. 50 million, that's not his fault. The price tag is not his fault, just like Richarlison didn't have to be bought for 60 million, because that's an exponential price as well for Richarlison and the level that you get from him. So I don't know, man. I just think that I agree with you in that sense. As in regards to the transfers and stuff, we have to build on it though. I agree with you, Hooks. It was a good summer, but if we don't do anything with what we're starting to build, and Angel's always said this, that we're laying the foundations to build something so we can compete at every level. When they ask about top 4, he says that's not the goal. I don't ever set out my hopes and let's just go and achieve top 4. Well, Tottenham Hotspur fans, they attribute that expectation with the board, and that Levy only wants top 4. And I agree. Levy only wants top 4 because that's how he gets his money. Boom. You do the bare minimum. And that's why this season, when they talk about expectations of Spurs, like, I never really cared if Steve Cooper has an eye health situation. Shout out Steve Cooper. Hope you get that eye sorted, my friend. Or eyes, both of them.
Just on that,
I don't remember what I was saying.
Just on that comment.
I forgot what I was saying.
Because
Steve Cooper comment?
No, I said and saying how because I saw the interview, and he's basically saying that top 4 isn't the goal, which is I believe that to be the case. Like, I think that should be the standard for every big team. That top 4 is not the goal. It's more so it's top 4 should be the standard. So these teams of this level, Arsenal included, we should be getting top 4 every season for the reason that we want to generate as much revenue and then feed that back into the club, right? And how you do that is by finishing top 4, being exposed to Champions League money and football, being able to attract bigger and better players because you're in the Champions League, which then should act as a stepping stone.
I feel like that's a little bit of a myth. That's a little bit of a myth, because when we did get Champions League, we got Ivan Perisic on a free. We got Basuma at a discounted rate because of some legal shit. We got Jed Spence, who the manager a week later was like, I didn't fucking want this guy. That was the club. Don't tie me to this guy. That's what we did when we got to Champions League. So if I'm to base my expectations of what we're gonna do if we get Champions League again, it's some bullshit like that, which I don't want to see. But we have bought some young players, and there's some players that are not even going to, we got Bergvall we're going to get in the summer. He's already locked up. And then there's this Luka Vuskovic guy who's this really, really tall Croatian kid. But apparently he can't go to the UK until he's legally of age because of Russian shit or Croatian. I don't know. But he's not joining for another year. And it's like, I don't know. Saad, let me bring you in here. Transfer shit aside, Tottenham Hotspur go 10 matches, unbeaten, on my birthday, November 1st. Oh, what a day. Oh, the wind was blowing the strongest, baby, at the top of that mountain. Ooh, I needed a windbreaker because it was so nice up there, and I was enjoying myself. The air was so fresh, and I wasn't hearing shit from nobody. It was a very nice moment. Where were you at in regards to what your thoughts of Tottenham when at this junction? Let's say November 1st because it is my birthday, and we were top of the league on my birthday. And I don't know when it was. It was Chelsea was about 5 days after that, so that's when the wheels start falling off the wagon. But what were you thinking about Spurs? Were you like, oh shit, is this manager for real, or were you thinking the whole time it was just a fluke and a matter of time until we got to see eventually what we saw?
At first, I was like, okay, new manager bounce, new manager bounce. Then eventually started to get more and more wins, and they were looking good. They were playing good football, of course, and scoring goals and the whole shebang. But there was always something at the back of my mind, which was, this is a first 11. It's not a squad. It's a first 11. So if they're losing any players, which unfortunately did happen. Listen, I hate Spurs, but I don't wish injury on any player. Unfortunately, they lost players and it screwed them up. And that was always like a thought in the back of my mind. I was like, bro, if any of their players gets injured from their first 11, who they've got to back them up as subs is nuts. The drop off is like mad. The drop off is mad, and that was always in the back of my mind. But I think overall it was, listen, he was playing very good football. He was at the top of the league at that time, and there was a lot of momentum. But yeah, it was. Listen, I was angry. I can't lie. I have to keep it real. I get angry.
What were you thinking? What were you thinking when Sonny
good.
scored a brace at the Emirates there, and you couldn't beat us in your own backyard?
I was fuming. We never want to lose against the Spuds at the Emirates Stadium. Never. I'm pretty sure the
it was a draw, so technically you didn't lose. It has been a while since we actually won there.
No. It felt like a loss. Same way, even if we get a draw at your ground, probably feels like a loss because you can't. It's painful when either one of us win at either of our own stadiums. So if you guys beat us or draw against us at the Emirates, you know what I mean? It hurts. Same way it would hurt if we do it to you guys. But
yeah, last year sucked. You did the double on us. I didn't like that at all last year. I'll say that was up there with being as disappointing as I think we got knocked out by AC Milan 1-0 on aggregate. What a fun affair that was. But again, that's why I just like the Champions League thing. That does nothing for me. That's like me giving, here's $500. Well, thanks. I appreciate the $500. Doesn't solve the fact that I don't have a job and I'm trying to have, and I got bills to pay. You know what I mean? $500 ain't going to cover all my bills. It'll help me for the right now a little bit. That's what I feel like Champions League would do, especially if we don't do what we're supposed to do with it. Hooks, I want to ask you a little bit. Go ahead, son.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, bro. The thing is, this is the reason why your thought on the Champions League is a bit, because I do agree that the Champions League it brings you more players and more opportunities to sign players. The only thing is, in your instance, the reason why you think like this, or not necessarily think like this, but the reason why you're in this predicament is because of your owner. Your owner, bro, Daniel Levy is the main issue why they did not buy players during that Champions League runs and being in the Champions League, bro. If they gave Conte, bro, if they gave Conte the players that he actually wanted, I still think he may have succeeded at Tottenham if
Not
they
even
gave him the players that he wanted, but he
not
just
even
didn't get them.
if
Well, this, go
if
ahead.
Levy went after the season where you got all the way to the Champions League final but didn't go over the line, if Levy just went, okay, you know what? We got all the way to the final. If I just inject 250 million into this squad, obviously making some sales as well, we can try and push on for the next season. But he didn't do that. So it's like it's not that getting into the Champions League isn't allowing you to do these things. It's your ownership that's not allowing you to do these things. So, and that's a scary thing. Like obviously Arsenal went through something very similar, but ours was kind of different in the sense that the board didn't really want to invest money while not being full owners, and now we're kind of seeing money being invested. So I don't know. Tottenham fans probably hope that that can be resolved, but maybe under Ange, with the fact that he's how do you put it? He's someone who's not gonna go out and say, "Oh, buy me Neymar" or "buy me Mbappe." He doesn't really care about the 200 million plus players. He finds the unearthed talents and molds them, and then we're all going to be looking at these players like, "Oh, damn, why didn't we sign this guy?" so so yeah.
Yeah, well, Hooks, let me ask you. Did you think it was I mean, I see Benito Sotelo as a flash in the pan. Do you think that Spurs' little run there at the beginning of the season, even factoring in what's kind of happened subsequently, do you think that it was a flash in the pan necessarily, or it's just something that, like, I'm asking the general question to the chat, which is, who has the brighter future? And right now, 49% says Tottenham under Ainge, 27% says Arsenal under Arteta. I was going to put Farteta, but I thought because y'all were here, I was going to be respectful. I don't know why I chose to do that. 23% says both are looking to have a bright future, and then 1% says both are destined to fail. They both need new gaffers. Without talking about Arsenal, because I definitely don't want to do that. Spurs specifically, in regards to like, in regards to what you've seen, Hooks, like obviously the run that I mentioned Assad, November 1st, Tottenham are sitting top of the league. Are you thinking at any point the elephant's going to fall? Or are you thinking that this is a flash in the pan, new manager bounce, kind of like what Assad was saying?
I knew it would end. I knew it would end because, I mean, it's unrealistic to think that Tottenham was going to go unbeaten for the whole season. I mean, obviously, the fact that you did start to lose was heavily impacted by the fact that you lost a lot of players. But that's something that I kind of expected to happen from the beginning of the season. Because, for example, you signed Maddison. Maddison is someone who is extremely injury prone. Like, I knew at some point in the season, Maddison was going to get injured. I didn't know it would be that quick, but I knew at some point he was going to get injured. And then it's like, okay, when Maddison's injured, what then? Who's then your creative outlet? Because to me, it seems like he was the only real person that you signed to become a creative outlet. So it seemed like you was very heavily reliant on Maddison. So when Maddison went away, it was like, okay, things are going to change. Van der Ven getting injured like completely destroyed your defense. Romero having his
because like the Madison problem, it doesn't matter how good Van de Ven or Kuti are, in my opinion. You scratch the surface a little bit, what's underneath?
Yeah,
Eric Dyer was technically what was there, and we started him versus Wolves the match after Chelsea.
Yeah,
and we all know how that went. The man on both of their goals did nothing. He just fucking watched it happen in front of his face. Yeah. Useless defender, but apparently out there in Schnitzelville, he's doing all right.
Yeah, because he's playing in it's slower football, so he was always going to do better, right? The Premier League was definitely way too intense for him, way too quick. But I guess my holistic view on, I guess, Spurs is the way that Ange plays football. This was always going to happen. Like, you was always going to get into kind of like a cycle of win a few games by high amounts, but then maybe draw a game or maybe lose a game, because you play with such a high line. To me, it seems like he's the type of person that well, not type of person, but it seems right now he's trying to really instill into Tottenham this is how we're going to play. Like, this is the way we play. It doesn't matter who's playing. This is the way that we play. So now, and I'm assuming that's happening all the way through like the youth system as well. So when
it has started.
Yeah.
The fullbacks aren't inverting quite like what we're seeing at the first team level, but in regards to the possession based, quick passing,
high energy,
pressing high up, that they're starting to do that, which is something that I've asked for as well, because then you find yourself in a situation like with City. Now, well, okay, you have an injury. James Maddison goes out. Well, you've got a kid who's been playing James Maddison's exact position in the exact way that, and that's something I've asked for as well, that I've wanted to see change at this club for a while. And you know, again, it is starting to happen. I always knew it wasn't going to be an immediate thing, and I think that for me, I always felt like there was going to be these moments where we have injuries, we have suspensions, international duty. You know, Asia Games and AFCON, we knew we had Asian and African players. What did we do to plan for their absence? Nothing. So we will suffer those consequences. Well, we did we did. We got Werner on loan, and now fans are like, well, he does have 4 GA in 8 matches, and it's like, he's a warm body who can run. That's what he was signed to do. Get on that left-hand side and run. Go to the far post when the play's opposite side of you. Very simple stuff. The wingers in the system are not asked to do a whole lot technically. They're not asked to do a whole heap of you don't need to be individually brilliant. And in regards to what you were saying, Hooks, that we're laying the foundation of this philosophy and this style that we're playing, we are doing that. And that's why the Chelsea match, players have referred to it. I referred to it at the time, and people made fun of me. They all took the piss. Oh, here we go, this Texan saying, remember the Alamo. But it really was, for me, more about principle. I would rather see in the beginning stages of what we're doing here, when we're trying to change an entire philosophy of a club, I would rather see consistency in the philosophy than adaptability to the unknown. Because now, we're not trying to plan for rain, snow, shine. We're just trying to get the fucking building up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then we can have the house prepared for when it rains, for when it snows, for when it's hailing, when the tornado rolls through. That all happens. But like, if we're worried about all that shit right now, like, we are just trying to like gut out all the dead, rotting, parasitic shit that we've had. Like Dyer going on camera, being like, yeah, we never win anything. Like he's at a Miley Cyrus concert. I mean, this is a person who represented our club, and like, the further we get away from that, to me, it will only be beneficial for us. So, you know, it was never going to be something overnight, in my opinion. And again, like, let me ask y'all, as Arsenal fans, when y'all were struggling, you know, on Arteta's first 2 years when he finished 8th, he changed. I think he had 3 at the back, then he went 4 at the back and 5 at the back. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong here. But that was him adapting to players. And what do y'all think that was? Like, for me, I would prefer to see what I saw with Ainge, but some may say that they prefer to see what they saw Arteta try and do, which is coping with the differences in the league. Whoever wants to talk can.
I think he was just being pragmatic. And the difference with Arteta is when Arteta was adapting and trying to do all of that, it's because he had never been a manager before. Like, he couldn't, I guess at the time with the players that he had, it was very hard for him to go, okay, I know that my philosophy will work with these set of players, because he had no experience. So he kind of had to ensure that he keeps his job, right? Because before he can even instill his philosophy, he has to prove that he should be the one that's there, right? And I guess from my perspective, I'm just happy that the board decided to stick by him. Because there were signs. You could see signs early on of how he wanted to play, and certain scenarios you could see like, okay, definitely with the FA Cup run, you could be like, okay, he's definitely capable of getting a team to beat the bigger teams and go on and win something. He's definitely capable of doing that. So now it's just about, can we get him who he needs to be able to play he wants to play to hopefully win us more. It's just a shame that we haven't won anything since the FA Cup. However, I think we're very close. Something that I genuinely believe, and I don't know, maybe a lot of other fans think this as well, is I feel sometimes people highly underestimate how competitive the Premier League is. Like, we're competing against people who regularly get like near on 90 points a season. That's insane. Like these are the people that we're going up against. So yeah, I believe, and I guess to bring it back to like who has the brighter future, I I don't know. I think both teams probably have a really good chance of having a bright future. I just feel like Arsenal are closer to that brighter future because obviously, like, we've laid the foundations, right? We've done all the groundwork, and now it's just about getting the quality in that can reflect where we're at, right? Whereas you guys are like, okay, this is his first season, so you're literally laying the foundation. So I would expect you guys to go on into the summer. Obviously, Levy's very unpredictable, but I would expect you to invest heavily into your squad, or at least
if we get Champions League, man, I'm scared. If we get Champions League, I'm scared of that being a actuality. But maybe he's finally done. Like he built his stadium, he got the go-kart track, he got the skywalk, he got the dingle dongs and the bingle bongs. But can we now say, like, you did it, good job, can we now fucking work on the first team? And that's my hope. Even if we get Champions League, like, hopefully, fingers crossed. But I'm a little bit like, maybe we should get Europa really to fucking teach them, hey, you gotta get. But I mean, then that's to the detriment of my own club. So it's like, it's a weird
either way
position
he's
to be in.
winning, bro. He's getting money either way. He's winning either way, bro. He's getting the money in, bro. This guy set up a whole system where, bro, this club is like a money making machine, bro. It's literally a money,
he
bro.
put tits on the cow, and now he's milking it.
It's
like, oh,
crazy, bro. The amount of money that Spurs do make to the amount that they actually spend on footballing, and then what they spend on outer stuff like go-karting and you know, concerts and this and that, bro. It's crazy. But
number one tourist attraction in London, I heard, according to Yelp.
Bro, that's crazy for a football club. That's crazy. But just going back to the football quickly, I think because I'm one of these people who think that Ange should have a plan B. I agree with what Hook said in regards to Arteta's still a new manager, so he's still trying to learn his plan Bs and trying to learn different plans around what he has going on, obviously, with his system. This Staffy guy's a fraud.
He's a
around
fraud,
his he is a fraud 100%. But yeah, listen, he still has time to learn what system, how he needs to differentiate his system from how he's playing, because sometimes you need a plan B. Sometimes if plan A is not working, you need a plan B, bro. You do. There's plenty of times last season where we needed a plan B. Man City at home, we didn't need a plan B, bro. After they started pressing us and going crazy, we needed a plan B, bro. But yeah, listen, I think we definitely needed a plan B. I think Ange definitely needs a plan B, just because sometimes your plan A is not what. So go on then, please explain to me why they don't need plan Bs
with this plan B thing, man. Because,
why?
Because it's not about having a plan B. It's about how can you tweak plan A to make it work in any scenario. Why
he did do that, exactly. You're right. Yeah, I agree with Hooks on this, because he did do that. He tweaked it. He's changed it. Udogie as an inverting fullback, for instance, when one of the times that Van der Veen went down or was gone, and he was playing alongside Ben Davies, and there was 3 matches where I noticed that Destiny wasn't pushing up as high anymore. He wasn't becoming that second striker sometimes, like you saw in the beginning of the season, and that you've kind of seen sometimes as of recently. So to me, he asked them to do different things to compensate for certain deficits, and like it still sometimes didn't work. So to me, it is a matter of having depth, like you said at the beginning, Saad, which was this: we had a first 11 that could compete, but we didn't have anything after that number 11. And to me, those things get worked out over time. But I agree that from a managerial perspective, you've just came into this club and you're trying to upend and change an entire ethos, mindset within a locker room, mindset of players, thought processes of players, because Destiny Dogi's admitted that he's never played this kind of position before. He's played a left wing back and he's played left back, but this inverting left back thing, he's not really played it before, and he's being asked to do different things that he's been uncomfortable with, but he's been open-minded to learning how to do. And this is him growing in the position. And I think that he's been one of, if I've said that I think he's the best left back in the league. Who's a better left back in the league than Destiny Udogie? Anyone got any answers? And I'm looking at the world, top three in the world: Alphonso Davies, Theo Hernandez, and who?
I think the world is possibly.
Yeah, it's a bit of a reach. It's a bit of a reach.
The world is a reach, but in the Prem, I think he has been one of the best left backs in the.
Yeah, definitely top. I say top 3 in the Prem, 100%. But then
who's in the conversation of the top 3 in the Prem? Just so I know from what you're thinking. You say if he's top 3 in the Premier League, who's the other 2?
I think Robinson gets in there.
Yeah,
Robinson gets in there.
Robinson just got turned over by Bobby De Cordova-Reid last night.
There you are. Why are we reaching out for? Are we not talking about Premier League? Well, like, you know what? Yeah, I can't lie.
Say, I'm a little bitter because he was the best
from last night. That was Jacob's PTSD from last night, because he was like, bro, how is he playing like that against us on the weekend and he can't play like that here?
Bro, he was the best player on the pitch versus Tottenham Hotspur. He was the best player on the pitch, but then he just got, in the first 35 seconds, dunked on. It was crazy. I don't know. Anthony Robinson, that's a shout, but
Guardiola's been pretty good at left back for Man City this year.
Brendan Johnson turned him around 2 ways from Sunday when we played. Brendan Johnson turned him. I'll repeat it again. Brendan Johnson turned him around. He said, "Turn around every now and then," like a little ballerina. Woo-hoo. I'm talking about Vardy. He's having a growing pain. Yeah, turn around. Yeah, that's the shit I'm on.
Hugo coming with the STPN. He's definitely a shout for one of the. He's a really good left back. And I think
he did score when Brighton beat us 3-0. I think it was. He scored a fucking. He just came on the pitch. He just came back from injury and he scored an insane goal against us, the asshole. So there's a reason stupid is in his name. A stupid head. I ain't trying to hear nothing. I fucking hate seagulls, man. Fuck them seagulls. Fuck every seagull. If you ever see a seagull, for me, punch it in the face. Gut, I don't give a shit. Punch it.
Anytime you say you hate seagulls, yeah, I remember at work, yeah, this one guy, bro, or like some old guy, bro. He's some old guy, bro. He's like nearly 60, bro. And he come out of his car, bro. He's coming out of his car and he had this hot dog, bro. He put it up on his car. And then he went in to take his keys and his bag out, bro. Well, I tell you, the seagull just landed off, bow, picked it up. All it left was the packaging, bro. The packaging didn't even move, bro. The precision to take the hot dog out the packaging,
they're thieves,
and just leave the packaging there.
They're rats with wings. They're rat thieves with wings. Dirty little bastards. This is why they get eaten by other birds, because they're fraudulent birds. Also, real quick. Seagulls, they do this. I'm in the beaches of California, right? I'm away for training camp. I'm at a low point emotionally in my life, and I'm just like, I need a day off. I go to the beach. I get the coach of the Cowboys says, "Oh, you got to go try this place." I go try this place, and I have a sandwich, beautiful sandwich, Italian meats. Oh, I can't wait to get into it. And guess what? I just got it. I'm like, I'll go sit by the fucking ocean, watch the waves and shit, and think about life while I enjoy this fucking Italian sandwich. Got a Dr. Pepper, ice cold Dr. Pepper. Talk to me nice. That's the best drink there is. All right, so I'm sitting there, and guess what? I'm like, ooh, that's a good ass bite. As I'm like this, motherfucker, scoop, and in the kerfuffle, I knocked over my Dr. Pepper. Sandwich gone, Dr. Pepper gone, and I was just like, this is as low as I think I can get right now. I think this is as low as I can get.
Nick was on the floor like. Where did everything go, bro? Wallahi. Why? Where did
Yeah.
everything go, bro?
Seagulls are
Hey,
crazy, man.
Sorry, Machiavelli.
Spurs
Hey,
King,
fuck Seagulls. It's fuck Seagulls for life.
Spurs King was on
Ait
to
Nori.
something here, though.
Ait
Nori
Nori's a
is
good one.
actually
Yeah.
been very good actually this year.
I've watched him for about 2 years there with Wolves, and I remember I think the first season I saw him, he looked like he was hot and cold, and then I think he had an injury and he wasn't the same for a little bit, but then he started hitting his stride really this season again. I think he's a quality left back, but is he better than Destiny? If you had to pick one, if all your left backs fell off the face of the earth, their contracts ripped up, you got to pick one left back in the Premier League to go forward with your club. You picking fucking him, or are you picking Destiny?
So
Or who? Anyone else?
it depends, because I feel like Destiny and Ait Nori they're two very different players. I feel like Ait Nori is definitely naturally able to play the inverted left back role more so than Destiny. I feel like Destiny's more of the overlapping type of left back. He's a guy who likes to bomb forwards, get involved in the attacking play, whereas I feel Ait Nori is someone who likes to come inside and play the little ticky-tacky passes and, you know, find openings. So at Arsenal, I would prefer Ait Nori. Not saying I wouldn't take Destiny, but if I had to pick one, I would pick Ait Nori.
Okay.
I'm with Hugo, by the way. I'm taking Estupinian, bro. All day, every day of the week.
Bro, how old is
day.
this stupid head? How old is this motherfucker? Hang on.
Bro, he's
Hang on.
actually a very good left back, bro. It's just the injury that done him dirty, bro. Otherwise,
Well, his first name is Purvis. What a perv. And he's 26 years old, so he's entering his prime. So no reason to believe that he can't even improve on what he's at right now. So I do see the upside. And look, he came onto the pitch. Last time I seen this bastard, he just came onto the pitch, and I was like, oh, here comes Purvis. And then he scored an amazing goal. He's a fraud, and I'll punch him as well, like any seagull that I see. Fuck the seagulls, bro. I hate seagulls. Anywho, no, without talking more about seagulls, Machiavelli here wants Hooks to finish what he was saying about Ange on Ange's plan B.
That he doesn't need it. Nah, man. All I was gonna say is basically when it comes to process, like it's in the hard times that you adhere to the process. Like you don't get to hard times and then drop the process and try something different, right? So for him to get the players to believe that the kind of I guess what he's trying to instill into the club, he has to show them that he believes in it. And the way that he can show them that he believes in it is we're going to do this regardless. Because, yeah, sometimes we're going to lose. Like, everybody loses. Like, everybody has bad games. It doesn't necessarily mean that the way that you're setting up is bad or incorrect or you should do something different. It's just on the day. You got beat. So what do? You take the learnings away. You analyze. Why did we lose? What can we tweak to maybe avoid that again in the future? And then you power forward with what you believe. Like the thing about Ange, and this is the thing that as an Arsenal fan is very annoying to see, because I can see the trajectory is he is very good with people. He's a very good man manager. So all those young players that he has in the team that look up to him and can probably relate to him really easily because he's a very laid back, cool guy. Kind of like, I don't know, like the cool uncle. That's the way that I see him. He's like probably like the cool uncle, the guy that used to give you gifts and all that shit. Yeah, he's gonna have all of them going onto the pitch, giving their all for this guy, and eventually Tottenham's gonna become a problem, especially if you invest. If you invest all this NFL, Formula One, Beyonce, all of this money, if you invest it into the club and increase the quality and the amount of quality, man, he's gonna have Spurs doing some big cooking. And it's a part of me hopes that maybe he says something in a press conference, rubs Levy the wrong way. Levy goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's time to go." And then I don't know, maybe bring in someone like a Conte again and go back to the negative ball and no longer.
We sacked Jose Mourinho 5 days before a final that he got us to. I'm pretty sure nothing is out of the realms of possibility when it comes to that to the way that we operate as a club. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised, is what I'm trying to say. Saad, what do you think about what Hooks there said about the trajectory of Tottenham
So,
in regards to if we do this, if we do that? Like, do you see that there's legitimately a good chance for Tottenham to grow from this moment? Like, what do you think of Tottenham's trajectory in the future?
listen, as much as I hate to say it, they're moving in the right direction at the moment, but we've seen this. I've seen this before, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said before, everything towards you becoming an actual good club, football wise, because you could say financial wise, you're perfect. You're the club that everybody wants to be.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure the Excel balancers are getting real boners over our
yeah,
fucking spreadsheets, but that don't
bro,
mean nothing to me on game day.
them financial reports, bro, they were going crazy about them, bro. Oh my god, look at the profit, bro. Plus 900
round of
mil. Wow. Like, bro, we were doing that in our hard times, bro. We were doing that in our hard times, bro. Using freaking look, we profit and sustain, bro. We profited. Look at the freaking whatever it's net spend. We did less net spend. All of that bull crap. Yeah, listen, in my opinion, um it all depends on Daniel Levy, man. Is it Daniel Levy?
Yeah,
It is Daniel
yeah,
Levy, innit?
Daniel Levy.
Bro, I forgot this
Yep.
guy's first name, bro. I'll just call him Levy anyway. It's all about this Levy guy, bro. I'll be real with you. If this Levy guy can actually stick to the project and actually say, you know what, I'm backing this guy. He's actually shown me that he can get something out of this team, which not even to a high level. Like the team I'm talking about, not the first 11. Obviously, the first 11 is pretty decent, but the team as a whole, he still managed to get results out of them, bro. There's something there. You know what I mean? There is something there for them to build off of, and to build on, bro. So it's all about whether he can take you from where you are right now, because at the end of the day, it's all in his hands. It is all in his
Yeah.
hands. He's the one who controls the money. He's the one who controls what happens, who goes in, who goes out. I know you said that they brought in people to try and get him as far away. The only way you want this, the only place you want this guy in the club, is to be focusing on the commercial side of the business, or of the football club. Focus on the commercial side and just be the guy that just signs checks. Just get him to sign checks. I don't need you to get involved in anything to do with the football, bro. Just sign the checks, make sure the bills are paid, and make sure we're paying the players. That's all you need to worry about. Let Ange and let the team there that are doing all these, bringing all these guys in, let them sort all of that shit out. You're calm, bro. You're rich as hell. Go to Ibiza, bro, and chill out. You know what I mean? Go on holiday, bro.
Yeah.
Get some sun.
Yeah.
But
You know, it's funny. Hooks and I, before the show, I was showing him a guy named Mark Rebier who does like improv music, and he loops everything live there. And the song that we're actually listening to is called "Fuck Billionaires." And I found it very. It's ironic because it's like a full circle thing. You know, I start before the shows listening to a song about, you know, fuck Bill Gates, fuck Elon Musk. They have more wealth than they need. What are you doing with all that money? Why don't you put it somewhere? Why don't you help somebody? And, you know, for Tottenham, it's really easy. Put that money into the first team. Help somebody. Help me. Help the first team. And I think I do agree with you there, Saad. I think it is all in our hands in regards to what we can push on from here. So I want to ask a final talking point here, and I want it to be about y'all. I want to ask y'all, just as Arsenal fans, what do you think? Actually, there's a question that I saved it. Where did it go? I
yeah, I
didn't
think it
star
was Hilbert, Hilbert or something
from
like
Paddy
that.
Hartnett. Yeah.
Hartnett, sorry.
Question.
Apologies, Paddy.
Question for the two of you lads: if Arsenal don't win the league this year, how long more will fans give Arteta? So if you don't win, let's assume you don't win the Champions League. Nice. You don't win the league. Nice. Nice. I need it. I want it. I'll be there for it.
Jacob's like,
you better
inject that.
This is the perfect scenario for me that I need. Yeah, y'all get knocked out by Harry Kane. Harry Kane hat trick. Just give me some skadoosks. I need some cannons, baby. Oh, come on, Harry Kane. I hope them schnitzels have made them legs extra powerful. All the later hosen make the fucking circulation real nice in them legs. He's not playing for England right now, so that's very nice to see as well. But you don't win Champions League. You don't win the Premier League. Are you giving Arteta another season, another 6 months? I'll start with you, Saad.
Yes. I think there was context to what I said, and obviously you know this from being with me on Ahwa. That there was context for me, and it was to get far in the Champions League, which, to be honest, he got us further than last season in the Europa League, which is actually getting us to the quarterfinals in more than, how long has it been, like
14 years,
15 years. So bro, to get us into the quarterfinals after that long, plus how he's this season, he showed me something, because at the start of the season and midway through the season, obviously we weren't looking as polarizing, we weren't looking as fluid as we were last season. This second half of the season has been nuts. So I feel like even if we don't win it in the end, I think at least he's going to deserve at least one more year. Obviously, certain guys are not gonna be wanting to give him one more year, but I'm like, bro, he deserves another year, bro, just to see what happens if we can finally get that missing piece, which is the either the goal scoring striker or the left 8. So it all depends, man. But we definitely need a goal scoring striker. But yeah, for me, he doesn't get the sack this season, man. Unless he does a madness and then goes out of top 4, which I think is near to. Oh, it's actually not near to impossible. It's actually possible, but you have to lose all 10 games, which I don't think will happen.
See, this is the thing for me. It's context. So say, for example, say we don't win the Premier League, but we missed out by 2 points, or even a point, or even we miss out on goal difference. Yeah. And say we get to the semi-finals of the Champions League and we get knocked out by Real Madrid or Man City by like a 1 goal difference or penalties. Then I'm like, okay, it's bad, but it's not so bad. Like, that's a pretty respectable kind of finish to the season, all things considered, at the level that we're competing. So in that scenario, I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm going to give you until the end of next season, with the caveat that we're not getting to like December, January, and we're like 7th in the table and we've already been knocked out of the Champions League. Because if that's the case, then for me, it would be bye. But if we capitulate from this position now and say, I don't know, we finish 4th and we get battered like 10-2 by Bayern Munich, I'll be like, you know what? I can't go through this no more, man. And I would probably say, no, what? I wouldn't say sack him, but if he did get sacked, I wouldn't be sad, because I'd be like, all right, cool. I completely understand. We capitulated twice in 2 seasons back to back. Maybe it is time to try something different. But for me, it's not as black and white as, oh, if he doesn't win something, then sack him. There's a bit of context that has to be applied in my opinion.
That's fair. Last thing before we end off, Hugs, I'll start with you. You winning the league? You winning Champions League? Or are you winning both? Honest prediction, not what you want. Obviously, I know you want to do what I'm not going to say out loud, because I will not help manifest it. But for you, what do you think is going? If you said you're a betting man, if you had to put your money with no heart, bias, nothing, just strictly logical prediction,
it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Right now, I would say I'm definitely leaning more towards us being able to win the Premier League more so than the Champions League. I think that the Champions League is way too unpredictable to. I don't think that anyone in the Champions League right now could say with 100% hand on their heart, their team's going to win the Champions League. I don't think anyone can do that. But
Unless you're Real Madrid.
I don't even think Real Madrid can do that because they're facing Man City, and it's not like Real Madrid can just steamroll.
Bro, Chelsea have scored 7 goals on this Manchester City, by the way. I know league form and European form are 2 different things. Obviously, look at you guys in Porto, but I had to try.
Yeah. I'm just
Hey, Jacob is the funniest guy on this earth, bro. I swear. Wallah, he just tries to get these little digs in. He's like, right, let me just put my little knife in
little
there.
one there.
And then the knife in there. And he just starts tapping the knives, bro, from where he's put them, bro. Wallah, it's crazy.
But if Arsenal beat Man City at the Etihad, then we win the league.
I'm the same,
Because I don't fear anyone else we're playing. I don't fear because we'll smoke Man United, we'll smoke Tottenham. Don't hope the chat doesn't get too triggered.
Wow! I was actually giving a thumbs up when you said that. You're a fraud. You already know when you go to Tottenham that y'all are getting your ass whooped, and there goes your title hopes. We're gonna take care of that part for everybody. So you're welcome, City. You're welcome, Liverpool. Let y'all duke it out. We'll take care of them. We're gonna take care of it, baby.
See, but this is the
all
thing.
3 points for Tottenham.
But this is
Come
the
on
thing.
now.
This is the thing, yeah. Tottenham could actually help Arsenal win in the league by beating Liverpool and Man City.
I'm gonna tell you this: we are not going. I don't care who's going to be playing for Liverpool. I don't see a world with. The reason we even got close last year was because Harry Kane is the world's best striker. And he was on his shit last year. 30 goals in an abysmal Tottenham Hotspur side. Talk to me nicely. Best striker in the fucking world. Holland ain't doing that shit. All right? But anyway, I digress. Fuck, what was I going to ask? No, North London Derby. No, Liverpool. You said that if we beat Liverpool, I don't think it's going to happen. It's at Anfield. And every fan of Liverpool has been saying, I can't wait for whatever the day it is that we're scheduled to play. They were reciting that date to me when I was saying shout out Joel Matip every single time. Because, of course, shout out Joel Matip every single time. That right foot of his, mwah. Oliver Skip getting a piggyback ride all the way to 3 points. It was very nice to see. So... They've been since that day though. It's like that dog. You've pissed them off, but you have to walk that way. You can't get home without walking past that house, and the dog's gonna see you when they see you. You know, that's a tough one. But I see us going all out versus Arsenal the week before we play Liverpool. That's away at Anfield. I don't like our chances as much there. I still think we can get a point. Fuck it. Talk to me nicely. But I think Arsenal at home, we are going to be so up for it. We play up to our competition. We play down to our competition. And we play mid to our competition. Shout out Brentford and Fulham, the mid-ass motherfuckers. Actually, Brentford's bottom now. They're the bottom bees.
That's going to be a crazy game.
Shout out to Mbappe, that fraud.
That North London derby, the North London derby is going to actually be a crazy game because that's going to be a. No, I don't think it's. No. But hold on, it's not. I don't think it's possible because of the amount of games that are still left after it. If we had like a few points, if we were ahead by like maybe 3 or 4 points or maybe even 5 points, then I'll be like, oh, you know what? We could actually win this at Spurs Stadium.
Old Trafford's more realistic.
Old Trafford is the one that I'm looking at because if we are going to win the league early, we could win at Old Trafford, bro. Listen, I've got man lined up, bro. You know the line of guys that I'm finna smoke, bro. Quick time, bro. Put them in the loud pack, bro. Come on, man. Let me roll that Rizzler up, bro. You man are getting wrapped in a spliff. We're going crazy tonight, broski. Hey, I gotta go out. Hey,
I'm gonna tell you this,
bro.
No, all them dreams, them hopes you just spitted, all them hypotheticals. I'll tell you right now, no. All right, no. Just stop it there. We're not gonna go any further. Just no, because guess what? You're gonna keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're gonna keep doing what you're doing. But when you come to the Palace of North London,
the Palace.
I'm calling it the Palace. The King's dining room of North London. When y'all come to town, I think we're going to be up for that match. I don't really even care who our 11 is. I don't give a fuck. When it's Arsenal versus Spurs, I just It's blind aggression. I was gonna say hope. There's no hope. It's just blind violence that I have for that club when we play. But look, gentlemen, without going too much longer, I know y'all got some stuff to do.
Jacob, hold on. Just one more question. Since
Yeah.
we're all being balanced here, we're all being,
I'm very well balanced.
unbiased,
Yes,
and
I'm
we're
very
being
unbiased.
balanced fans, right?
Yeah.
Do you, in your honest opinion, think that we can get something from Man City and at the Etihad? Be honest. Do you think we can win that game, or do you think we'll win that game or not? I just need an answer for that.
You beat them already. What would lend me to believe that you couldn't do it again? But then I apply that same logic to my Liverpool stance. We beat them already. But again, the circumstances how we beat Liverpool, I guess, would be a little bit different than how y'all necessarily beat Manchester City. Although it was, I think it went off someone's butt cheek, and then that's how y'all scored a deflected when y'all beat them 1-0.
Yeah.
That's how
Okay.
it was.
No, it went off his head.
Nathan Ake butt cheek?
Ake.
Was that what it was? I can't
Yeah.
remember.
We got back.
It was a Havertz assist though.
Yeah, that's right. It was Havertz off the butt of Ake.
Bro.
That's what it was.
This guy's trying to take wins
there we
every
are.
time, bro. Wallahi. This guy's trying to take wins.
Do I think you could win there? I think you could. Would I predict y'all to? Fuck no. Do I?
Of course,
Fuck no. Do I? If I were to predict y'all to do anything, this would be what it is.
It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace.
Yeah, disgrace. I fucking hate that guy.
Gaffer.
You said it. I've been waiting for you to say it. Full screen. Let me see it.
Bro,
Say that again with your chest.
I believe my gaffer. He will win this league for me.
And what happens if he doesn't? What happens?
You know what? And I got to give you some props there, Saad, because you were saying that when things weren't looking the brightest. I think it was around December. Y'all were dropping some results.
You man called me, and they were just questioning me, bro. These man thought I'd be like, I'll take her out, man. I'll take her out. Nah, bro, man. I actually believe in him, bro. I thought you could do it. So
no, actually, I rate what you did there in that moment. The only thing I can hope for in the future is that he fails, he gets sacked, and then that clip becomes even worth more. It's like I have a card here, and if this guy, I'm not going to say his name, but if he perishes, that card all of a sudden now that's worth more. So if Arteta perishes in the line of duty, we will be here. It will be that clip
a lot, bro. That clip is gonna be gold dust, bro. People are gonna watch.
It's gonna be my ringtone for you. Anytime you call, text. I believe my gaffer. I bet you do. All the way to the bank.
That's how you
oh man. Big up Vader. Big up everybody who's been in the chat. I know this was a little bit different of a show. Normally people are used to seeing me ramble by myself or with two beautiful older gentlemen and just ramble about random Tottenham shit. But this has been a lot of fun, honestly. I like I feel like fresh perspectives on situations can always help enlighten other people on how they can perceive things, or maybe just think about things a little bit, or hear things from a different perspective. So it's always nice to get a fresh view. Arteta with a mouthful of meat is pretty crazy. Jacob, Arsenal doing well since Dubai. Ainge needs some meat in that mouth too. That's very ayo. I'm gonna be honest. That's very ayo.
Yo,
I read that same one, bro, and I was like,
look at
yo,
the name as well. Look at the name as well. Yeah, it's
crazy.
Yeah.
Bro. It's nuts, bro.
I thought you fucker, but you clever fucker.
And also big up to Vader. Respect to the panelists. Vader's a fraud, but big up to Vader Games TV. Make sure you are subscribed to Vader. Make sure you are subscribed to Saad. Look, his channel is in the description of this video. Halftime Hooks doesn't have a channel yet, but when he does, we'll make sure to put that out there. But also, make sure you are subscribed to the Football Corner. Make sure you do go show Saad some support. He is a good guy. We do bi-weekly show there on This Is Football Together. So I'm sure
This Sunday is gonna be crazy.
This Sunday's gonna be crazy. Yeah,
this Sunday's gonna be nuts, bro. I said this on my other show. I have this weird feeling that Hamza's dunked on. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that Hamza's gonna get dunked on because of the whole show and what we're gonna be doing. But listen, we won't say too much because it's not trying to ruin anything right now.
Yeah, nothing's been announced yet, but I think y'all stay tuned. Sunday, This Is Football is going to be a very, very good one. look, I've really enjoyed it. 2 debutantes. Hopefully we can get y'all back on when we get a little bit closer to that North London Derby and we can preview some stuff together here on the channel. I will be looking to do some more of these rival shows here during this international break because honestly, I ain't trying to hear shit from nobody when we playing, especially if we just lost to Fulham. I ain't hearing shit from nobody. But it's international break, so we got to do what we got to do. But it's great because I get to ask questions and I dictate the fucking conversation, so no one gets to go off the rails except me. That ain't that nice. When you control the playground, guess what? You get to decide what games get played. But we'll be doing this again. I have another couple Arsenal panelists that are going to line up for another Arsenal edition. But before we do that, there's going to be another episode of this. I don't know when, but there might be an episode of the Untitled series, also known as the Immaculate series. I don't know when. Likely tomorrow at some point, but I don't know when. And you're like that. That's how I roll. So make sure you do have the notifications. Do what you do to your significant other and turn it on, baby.
Got your ass.
Yes, we did. If
Where's
Arsenal
that
win the league-
Vicario? Where's that Vicario clip, bro? That clip is bad, yo, bro. But like, I love.
You know what he was talking about? He was talking about Pedro
don't
Porro's
know.
goal. But I like to say when things look good from the back every single time.
You must have had a great view of that.
Wow, unbelievable from the back. Yeah.
Unbelievable from the back. What a great note.
With no context.
Unbelievable. Yeah. With no, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sounds
Hey,
yo.
I strategically clipped it in that manner to make it sound in a I could, like I said, when you control the playground, you control the narrative, much like America and the propaganda that we spew. It's much like that, but we're not. We could spend all night talking about that. But look, I sent you a WhatsApp. Can you show the Arsenal ads before we end? What did you send me there, Patty? Oh, it's a video. Oh, I've seen this. Where's my phone? Y'all probably seen this. It's gonna take me 10 seconds. He wants y'all to see it, and it's Patty Hardney. He's a longtime supporter of the channel here.
Big up Paddy.
Yeah, big up Paddy, man. Big up Paddy.
Yeah, I'll do this so you can.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah. I've seen this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's great, especially because of that thing over there. You know what's in there? Corn. Really? Wow. Go for some corn. You're dark, Raj. I don't care.
Bro, I just love that. I love that bit just because I watch Family Guy. So I've seen that one, but bro, I'm like, that's too funny, man.
The irony of it is, like, I have been talking so much shit on Bayern since since they had dinner at the Kane household. I was like, you fraudulent schnitzel fucks with your dirty little greasy bratwurst fingers going into Kane's home. And they had dinner together, and then they started frolicking through the towns together. And then all of a sudden, Mrs. Kane is in Germany looking at houses. So I've been shitting on them for a long time. And then they got Dyer, and we got Dragusin. So then I claimed Tottenham Hotspur are, in fact, bigger than Bayern Munich. Fuck them and all them trophies they won. I don't give a shit about it, because that's what I'm here to talk about. One player picked us over them. That's enough for me to say we're bigger than Bayern, and I'll take it. Just like we're bigger than Fartalonia, aka Barcelona, the little brothers of the Spanish Farmers League. We also are bigger than them as well. Shout out Lucas Bergvall for that. But look, I could go on and on boasting and bragging about Tottenham Hotspur, but I do appreciate you both very much for giving me your unbiased, balanced takes, and as well a little bit of your little sod fraudulence escape there at the end. But I love it. I love it. It's all the game. But hey, make sure you are subscribed to the Football Corner. If you have not hit a like on this video yet, please make sure you do. There's 92 votes in the poll, and I swear we ain't even gonna be on 50 likes. Watch. Oh, we have 53 likes. So over half of y'all are not fraudulent. But to the 45% that are fraudulent, that is about 40 of you that voted, but you didn't like the video on YouTube. You're a fraud. I hope someone hugs you very, very gently and squeezes in all the right places. But on that note, we will end it there. I want to say thank you to my guests again. And as always, folks, do me a couple favors. Should I do a new sign out for this? No, I'm just going to say stay blessed, stay fresh, up the lads. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
United Spurs of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Good.
Ahora ya dejé de ver un poco, pero